Put him a full mask. Wrongful death lawsuit. A black 11-year-old takes his own life after being bullied by a teacher. Wrongful death lawsuit is stating a fifth grader and a fifth grade teacher. The fifth grade teacher relentlessly bullied, according to the suit, an 11-year-old child for months. And the Florida School Board, quote, took no action to stop it before he took his own life. The parents of the young child who unalived himself 2 years ago are suing a Florida school board, alleging board members did nothing to stop a fifth grade teacher who mercilessly bullied the child and encouraged classmates to do the same. It gets worse. According to the Ocala News and WCJB News, parents Tyka Johnson and Lewis Johnson Jr. filed a complaint against the Marion County School Board. In the wrongful death suit cited by the news outlet, the Johnsons said that their 11-year-old son, Lewis Johnson III, quote, continuously, consistently, and was relentlessly publicly bullied by his teacher. The teacher is Donna Marie White. This is when he was a student at Legacy Elementary. The complaint alleges that for several months, while engaged in an, quote, open, notorious, and protracted pattern of bullying by systematically and chronically inflicting hurt and or psychological distress on Lewis Johnson III, including but not limited to unwanted and repeated verbal humiliation and insulting behavior, and encouraging other students to engage in the same behavior against their son. White allegedly, called Johnson stupid and told him, quote, you don't know anything. A few months before the 10-year-old's passing, Johnson's parents complained to the school administrators about White's conduct and tried to solicit help from the Marion County School Board, asking board members to schedule conferences with the elementary school's leadership. But the committee, quote, took no action. The lawsuit reads. There's more information here. You have parents who attempted to utilize the administrative remedies that are afforded to them as parents in that school system. Why are they seeking an administrative remedy? Well, because the child has spoken up. And if you know anything about young people, you know it typically takes them a while before they're comfortable to speak out against their peers or authority figures in school. So the child spoke up. That means at that point, this has risen to a level that is no longer tolerable for the child. Parents get involved. They seek remedy from the local school. They seek remedy from the school board itself, the governing authority, prior to the unthinkable happening. Johnson's parents said that as a result of the school board's negligence and their failure to address this severe bullying, their son began experiencing, quote, anxiety, depression, sleeplessness, crying, nightmares, fear, anguish, and embarrassment, end quote. They claimed their son, quote, felt like there was no escaping the incessant and daily public humiliation, bullying by White, leading to the 10-year-old's untimely death, April 2023. The complaint states that Johnson used a firearm to take his own life. He was rushed to the hospital where he died 2 days after he was admitted. Johnson's parents went to his school afterward, passed out prevention flyers, which also listed their allegations against White. The school district launched an investigation into the educator and interviewed more than 24 student witnesses, 12 of whom were in Johnson's class. According to the investigative report, White once allegedly told Johnson, quote, "I don't know why you're talking because you don't even know anything. You don't know nothing in this class. Isn't that right, kids?" And naturally, this is a catalyst for his peers to become bullies and partake in the bullying experience with the teacher. Students also claim White, the teacher, would get mad when a student got an answer wrong, would sometimes make remarks about students' grades in the classroom, creating public embarrassment intentionally. They also said her intimidating behavior sometimes made students cry. Now, we're talking about 10 and 11-year-olds, okay? They're college students that could not withstand that kind of academic environment and be emotionally okay. District officials concluded that White repeatedly inflicted psychological distress on several children by verbally insulting, humiliating, and embarrassing students. White's contract with the school system was not renewed following the investigation. The Johnsons are seeking at minimum $75,000 in damages. That typically takes it to the federal courts, exclusive of interest, costs, or attorney fees. Before I go to the next part of this, the school concluded the child was bullied. They investigated, and the school says, yes, this teacher engaged in a pattern of humiliation, embarrassment. Well, what is bullying? Humiliation, embarrassment, etc. You had a bully as a teacher. Now, the irony is, the parents who came to you well before this happened said it was happening. But because you decided not to correct the issue in the now, when it was presented to you initially, the blood of this child is on your hands. Put him up. Least we could do. Let's try to help the family. So we provided a link. Donate to help Lewis. You dress you can. Sorry, Ben.
I got you, Doc. This is, a tragedy beyond words. You can see the emotion on Doc. You can see the emotion, hopefully, in your own heart when you hear a story like this. For whatever reason, there are certain people that go into education and they are these like misanthrope characters. We've all had those teachers that are just terrible to kids, and you don't know why.
Yep.
They're allowed in education. And I don't know the solution. I think part of it can perhaps be we get rid of the ridiculous concept of tenure. The unions should fight for teachers' pay, for their conditions. They should not fight to keep terrible teachers in school that bully children. Not everybody can take that kind of thing. Some people have really soft hearts, and it's just a tragedy beyond words. I just pray that a story like this reverberates so far and deeply that it maybe, hits the heart of some teachers out there that are a little bit hardened and jaded and have become bitter and mean, to maybe wake them up and realize that they are influencing the minds of very impressionable, sometimes weak and really soft-hearted young kids, and that they should not take that lightly. I don't know if we need cameras maybe in the back of the classrooms just showing the teacher and with audio. I mean, you don't want to have to put cameras everywhere in society to have people act like human beings. But something has to be done, because it's just beyond that, beyond, any solution. It's just such a tragedy. My heart really feels so.
Yeah, it's
for Lewis and his family.
It's a tough story. It's tough for me to report it. It's tough for our producers to curate. It's tough for you to hear it. It's tougher for the family to experience it. And it's toughest for the child that had to endure it. And for the sake of the child and the family, we must tell this story. Let's put up the GoFundMe again. You can make a contribution to assist the family as they transition through this moment, as well as launch a lawsuit against the school system. The reality is, according to the investigation, the 11-year-old was not the only one adversely impacted by bullying of this teacher. There are others.
One more thought, Doc, too. You put up the slogan of the Marion County School Board there that said, helping every child succeed. And enough of these corporate slogans when it comes to businesses that involve people's lives, especially vulnerable people's lives. Not everything can be about sloganeering and profits. If you're going to put a slogan about helping every child, you must take that as a solemn oath and take it very seriously. And when you hear complaints that a teacher is bullying a young child, that should be a 5-alarm fire.
Right.
Your slogan says helping every child succeed. This was an abject failure.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Those slogans for the public, it becomes a policy. You assume this is a policy dynamic associated with the care and character of the school. Obviously, that didn't happen. Just a reminder to every school teacher. Most teachers are beautiful people. I was adopted by a school teacher. And sometimes some teachers forget, and I hope it's just temporarily, that we all live inside. None of us live out here. So while we may be able to say to a child that there's light at the end of the tunnel, the child, if they can only see darkness, that's all that's in that child's world, because we all live inside here, not outside.
And one more thought on that too, Doc. I mean, you all watching this just thought, Dr. Richey, a grown man, brought to tears by the actions of this teacher and the results of them. This is a grown man, an incredibly accomplished adult human being. Just imagine the effects of it on a child.
Wow.
I mean, there you have the perfect evidence of the impact of words and actions. So
that's right.
Let's try to be better people.
Got to do better by our babies.